Dear ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to be part of this panel on the human rights of older people during the COVID-19 pandemic. My name is Tineke Abma, and I'm a professor at the Leiden University Medical Center in the Department of Public Health. I'm also the executive director of Leyden Academy on Vitality and Aging, which is the representative of ILC-Nederland. It is our mission to contribute to the quality of life of older people as a knowledge institution. And we do so with a group of interdisciplinary scholars. Today, I will focus on the older people's experiences with the COVID-19 pandemic. In March 2020, we developed a study protocol because we saw that the protective measures established to protect people from COVID-19 were also influencing their quality of life and well-being, while their voices were not heard. So this project aimed to explore the meaning of the pandemic among a diverse group of seniors aged 60+ worldwide and how the pandemic impacts their daily lives. We chose a qualitative study design with semi-structured interviews with seniors aged 60+. The interviews were mainly done by telephone, audio recorded, and transcribed verbatim. We used a purposeful sampling method to include as many seniors as possible, also those with a lower social economic status and the oldest old. The topics for the interviews included social context, social activities, health and vitality, well-being, and the corona news and reporting. Later on, we also included the human rights. An inductive thematic analysis was conducted, and regularly we held group conversations over the 2 years. Here you see the various countries that took part in our study: the Netherlands, Brazil, Canada, Japan, Singapore, the Dominican Republic, and Iran. From the study, we derived policy recommendations. Involve seniors in policymaking. Beware of ageist language. Beware of the digital divide. Focus on coping and resilience. Ensure social participation and volunteering. And I will now go on and report about the various recommendations. Involve seniors in policymaking. The measures established to protect seniors affected their quality of life, but they had no or little influence on the policymaking process, which led to frustrations about having no say and measures that did not attune to their needs. If policymakers do not involve seniors, they will not know what the needs are under the circumstances. So seniors must be involved in policymaking, not only in the beginning, but throughout the policy cycle, from agenda setting, planning, to implementation and evaluation. And we also advise to establish structural partnerships to be prepared for a next crisis. The second recommendation: beware of ageist language. Many seniors felt scaffolded by the language used in mass communications. They were portrayed as vulnerable and weak, and many elders had the idea that they were a burden on the rest of society. This is an example of a lady from the Netherlands who said, "I do not feel addressed. Many people who are older are still very independent and self-sufficient." So she found the reporting somewhat patronizing. This means that language matters because it can reproduce and fuel ageism. And if seniors are affected by the use of certain terminologies, they should have a say in how to use language that better represents their situation and position. And also we can involve them in determining what ageist and stigmatizing language is in order to better portray them. The third recommendation, be aware of the digital divide. We have seen how social distancing led to social isolation and how important digital technology is to stay connected with friends, family, and be engaged in the community. And it's also an important way to understand the implications of the crisis and search for the right care. Here are some experiences from people around the world. Someone from Japan who started to use digital technology because her family advised her to do so. Or someone from Canada who said, it's not ideal soon, but it's a way to stay connected with another human being. And someone from the Netherlands who was very enthusiastic about the WhatsApp through which she held contact with her children, grandchildren. So we should not assume that seniors are digitally illiterate. We have seen that people rapidly increase their digital skills, but we do have to acknowledge that not all people have the resources to keep up with these developments and have the resources to buy the necessary technology. And here we see often a combination of disadvantages where class matters often more than age. So the recommendation is to make technology available, set up community platforms and digital ambassadors. The fourth recommendation, focus on coping and resilience. Policies were targeted to protect older people and focused on risks deriving from a medical model on old age. Which led the attention away from the capacities of older people and their coping and resilience. While we saw that many had skills to cope very well with the situation. For example, people were very good at selecting and filtering the news. Someone from Brazil, for example, said, I prefer to avoid the news. And someone said, you get so stressed by all these graphical representations of death. And someone from Canada also said how the news made them anxious and how they curtailed watching the news from the States. So focus on the development of capacities, not only of individuals, but also of groups and communities, and ask seniors, what are the assets and resources that can be mobilized within your community so they will be prepared for the next crisis? Ensure social participation and volunteering. Many seniors lost the possibility to participate in social activities, voluntary work, and paid jobs. This not only meant a loss of income, but also of meaningful activities and roles. So ensure that they can partake in society. And some experiences from abroad, people from Japan who started to disinfect the elevator buttons on a voluntary basis, or someone from the Netherlands who was working in the hospital and found it very nice to make himself useful. Future policies should keep in mind that people want to maintain their day-to-day activities and acknowledge the importance of meaningful activities and roles in society. I come to my conclusions. People should be addressed as agents and as valuable members of society. The digital divide, ageist language, and other issues require attention to prevent health inequalities, loneliness, sadness, and loss of meaning in societal roles. These recommendations will help us better in the future to attune our policy measures to the needs and desires of older people. Thank you for your attention. I want to acknowledge all the participating ILCs and members of our teams from Japan, from Singapore, from South Africa, the Dominican Republic, Brazil, the USA, and Canada. Thank you very much.